Swordmaster might be one of those quiet, game-changing characters that we've been looking for. Let's take a peek at the character overall and see where he excels. If we take a look at his stats, nothing here really jumps out if we're being completely honest. His damage stat is in the top 30, everything else really seems to be subpar. So the character himself, right, just as a stat machine, that's not his bag, that's not what he does. We're going to have to look closer at his abilities to see where the magic really happens. Everything starts with his passive, Descendant of Fu Shi. On spawn, you're going to apply Safeguard to self and all immortal weapon allies for 2 turns. Now that, coupled with Lady Bullseye's passive, gives you Safeguard and immunity right off the bat for 2 turns. Right, excellent way to start the day that makes a team difficult to deal with early. Swordmaster likes to attack into enemies with defense down. When you do that, you get 50% chance to get an ability energy for yourself and, right, it doesn't say or, it says and all immortal weapon allies. So you have an opportunity here to get your abilities up and running faster than normal when you target an individual who has defense down. You're also going to heal yourself and all immortal weapon allies by 5% of this character. That's, again, obviously going to be the Swordmaster's maximum health. We also want to bring your attention to this little nugget right here, lower armor by 25% for enemies with stun. Now, you're already probably going to have defense down on the character at this time, so you have an additional 25% less armor to chew through. Immortal weapons really have a knack for singling out and tunneling down an opponent. We'll find that this might really come in handy as we go on and look at the rest of the kit. With those basic points in mind, let's see how we can apply that to using the character in general. We move on to his ultimate ability, Omni Slash. It's going to clear all barrier on the enemies, apply stun to the primary target, and then apply 3 defense down. So once again, we got that stun, meaning they've lost armor and they're going to have defense down, stacks of 3 at this time. You're going to be doing 300% piercing damage on that opponent. Then you will bonus attack that enemy 3 additional times, each for 100% piercing damage. So you can use that to simply tunnel an enemy out, or on kill, you can apply stun to all adjacent targets. So once again, you can use this to simply knock an enemy out, or you could perhaps use it on a weaker opponent to control stronger individuals who are still on the map. Notice as we load into the matchup, we see that we have our passive ability proc. We have that Safeguard and immunity due to Swordmaster and Lady Bullseye's passive abilities. It makes us difficult to be controlled, which is going to help us to endure the initial onslaught and actually take control of the matchup. So the ultimate ability does ridiculous damage. We can use it to either tunnel out a strong opponent, or as we're going to do here, we can knock out a weak opponent and then stun all adjacent opponents. So we have, again, the Undead as Guardian here. It's an excellent opportunity to put a big hit. Yeah, we're going to waste the damage, but we're going to control all the other enemies who are adjacent to him, meaning they can't take a turn, and it allows our team to keep going. So this is just one of those things we want to keep in mind when we're using Swordmaster. Is this the time to eliminate somebody from the matchup, or is this a time when I can put things under my control and keep the matchup in my favor? Also available first turn is his special ability, Whirling Assault. So you have an option here of which way you want to go. Whirling Assault, if this character has 3 or more immortal weapon or mighty avenger allies, reduce the duration of immunity and safeguard by 2 on all enemies. So again, as we talked about before, that combination of immunity and safeguard stops you from being controlled, and you're able to remove that on your opponent, since the immortal weapons thrive by putting negative effects and controlling the opponent. You're going to attack all enemies for 300% piercing and put 2 defense down, up to a maximum of 3. You're going to give them trauma for 2 turns as well as heal block for 2 turns. This attack cannot be blocked, counterattacked, or dodged. So you have an opportunity here to get some more healing. You have an opportunity here to perhaps set yourself up for some more ability energy to really lead into some stronger attacks later on in the match. We're going to illustrate this with Absolute A-Force. So as you can see, we're going to go through, we'll eliminate safeguard and immunity on their opponents all the way around, with the exception of Miss Marvel Classic. She was able to resist it. So it can be resisted in certain cases. And right here, that probably means I'm going to lose the match because I can't bring her under control, meaning I can't get to the other opponents. Just something to keep in mind. And that brings us to the basic ability, Star Cutter. A lot of times you're not going to use the basic, but notice what it does. It's going to attack for 320% piercing damage and apply that defense down. Change it to adjacent targets, also give them defense down, but counterattack will indeed break the chain. So if you are getting down to the end of that fight, you just got one more big dog left. You got a couple little guys you can knock out. Maybe you can set yourself up for a big attack. He'll have defense down. And maybe one of your other guys can go in for that final strike. So we're going to look at the end of our matchup here with the Undying team. We got 4 enemies. I'm running out of ability energy. We'll go ahead and use Star Cutter here to eliminate those individuals and see if we can get over there to Zombie Juggernaut to keep him under control. So nice artwork as always. Animations from the art department. Beautiful. So since we only got one enemy to deal with now, we still get to go. We can put a slow on him. We got speed up, and that will give us the turn meter that we need to finish him off so that he's not able to do any damage to our team. Everything we've seen so far has been test server footage, so we'll see how it happens when it comes to the real game. We've been using Skirmisher just because we're trying to give us more vulnerables out there, because we really want Iron Serpent to be the one hitting into those vulnerables to get that Skirmisher Striker combo. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do, but this is what I've been testing out, and so far it's been working okay for me. Really curious to see what happens when it gets in your hands as the player, to see what excellent combinations you come up with. I think Swordmaster has the opportunity to be an excellent plug-and-play character, so let me know what you think about him in the comments. Is there some other combination you'd like to see this team go against? We're going to try testing out their strengths and their weaknesses a little bit later in the week, so if you have any ideas, let me know. And hey, if you haven't checked this video right here out, give it a whirl. It's legit.